Hello friends, and welcome back to the Mothership. Today we're smoking up these delicious meatball banh mi's. Let's get started. Now to get our meatballs together, what we're going to do is take a pound of ground brisket. This is from a full brisket. It's probably about ratio of maybe 70-30 if you're looking to do ground beef. You could use pork in here, but I'm just going to do straight brisket because I have a bunch of it. I'm going to take our brisket. I'm going to add in our sriracha. Can add in our fish sauce, all of our garlic, all of our basil, and then all of our dry seasonings, including our cornstarch. Now, I'm just going to mix this all together. As you can see, there's no breadcrumbs in here, so this is a very heavy on the meat side of the meatball, which will be just fine for these sandwiches. We're putting them into, obviously, a sandwich, so we'll get enough bread in there. If you're using a leaner cut of meat, you might not have enough sticking together power, but since this is 70-30, essentially, it should stick together just fine. There's enough fat in here. What I want to do is just get everything mixed together completely. Now that everything is nicely mixed together, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of meat and roll into about 1 inch to 1.5 inch diameter ball. Just like so. I'm going to make all these, put them aside, and put them in my fridge until I'm ready to begin smoking. Pickling up our carrots and radishes is pretty easy. I'm just going to take all of our carrots and all of our radishes and put them into a mason jar. Then I'm going to get some rice wine vinegar, some sugar, kosher salt, sesame oil, and then just some water. Then I'm just going to put a lid on here, shake it on up, and then I'm just going to take this, put it in the fridge, and give it a shake every half an hour or so until we're ready to use it. Our smoker is up to temp at 180 degrees. As you can see, I am smoking our meatballs on the top shelf in a pan. You can absolutely do these on a wire rack or directly on the grates, but I figured this is a little bit safer for them to not fall through the grates or leak everywhere. Since these are ground brisket, I'm going to let them smoke to probably about 160 degrees. If you're using ground pork or a lean beef mixture, you probably want to go close to that 140, 145 so they're not dried out. But as we all know, brisket can take a lot more heat and go a lot longer in temperature. So I'm going to let them go to that 160. At this point, I'm just going to close it, let them do their thing, and come back in periodically check the temperature. Now before we get to the taste testing segment of this, guys, if you could give me a like, a comment, and most importantly, subscription, let me know what you guys are cooking down below. And that being said, let's move on. Now our meatballs hit that number close to 160 degrees, so I decided to pull them. Now, as far as bread for these sandwiches, traditionally they come on a French bread, but we had ciabatta around. I figured that would be perfect for these tonight. As far as the spicy mayo, I have the ingredients down below. It's very simple, just mix them together. Didn't feel like you guys needed to watch me do that. But our pickled radish and carrots, our meatballs, and the spicy mayo should come together to have an incredible sandwich. So I'm obviously starving, and now it's time to give it the old-fashioned chomp. Guys, I love Vietnamese food, and I love getting these sandwiches whenever I find a place that can make traditional ones. I really wanted to make my own style, and I had some leftover ground brisket around, so I figured why not try and do a meatball in the style of a traditional banh mi. The pickled cucumber and radish has its own layer of crunchiness and a little bit of flavor to it, some sweetness. The spicy mayo comes together with the seasoning that we put into the meat. It all comes together into a really interesting sandwich. It's really good. This is a great cook. I'm really excited to eat the rest of these, and I hope you guys give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, cook something fantastic. I'll catch you guys in the next cook.